And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Okay, up first here, there's a flood warning. Let me get on the right side of the chart here for the Kuskokwim River. There from Kwethlek on down to Bethel for possible flooding, or for flooding to continue to occur, especially the low roads close to the river, low-lying roads and homes close to the river for continued flooding there, again from Kwethlek down to Bethel, and that's out through the weekend. And the flood watch continues for Circle for possible flooding due to an ice jam, but at last report there have been no sightings of any overbank conditions, river conditions there upstream from Circle, but that's out probably through the weekend as well. And from there, there's a geomagnetic storm going on that will produce auroras across Alaska through the weekend. But you'll be able to see them based on two criteria. One, if it's clear enough, and the other, if it's dark enough. And meeting both those criteria might be a little hard to come by across the state this weekend. Otherwise, here you can see storm system pushing a lot of moisture up into the southwest interior with rain along the North Gulf Coast today, increasing from south to north here into Prince William Sound, especially western Prince William Sound, southern Kenai Peninsula extending back toward Kodiak Island, and some moisture up into the western Susitna Valley today. Otherwise, not a bad day. Mostly dry across the southeast coast, and a little bit of light snow up here over the western Arctic coast with a system trailing back down towards St. Lawrence Island. And a break here with some sunshine over the Pribilofs today, right in this area here, that extended back up into Norton Sound, and partly sunny skies through the central interior. And the next system out here to the west will track eastward, mostly south of the Aleutian chain here this weekend, but will be close enough to produce some rain and locally gusty winds across the Aleutians as it does move mostly to the east. On the chart today, here's the first system here over the Alaska Peninsula this afternoon, and the front right near Kodiak Island with rain and gusty winds here occurring right up into the North Gulf Coast, and lighter winds with lighter precipitation here as you head east toward Yakutat. And mostly dry this afternoon with some clearing over the Panhandle. Winds light in that area. A few showers along this trough up along the Yukon Flats area down to possibly the White Mountains. Otherwise, this trough brings some areas of light snow to the western Arctic coast there down into the northern Seward Peninsula, and maybe some flurries back into St. Lawrence Island, but none of that any very significant at all. And the next system here, still south of the Aleutians. Not a bad day across the Aleutians today with high pressure dominating the northwest Bering Sea. Actually centered over the northwest Bering Sea, but dominating the entire Bering Sea here. And that'll continue into tonight. Now this warm front with this system will spread some light rain, fog, and drizzle up to the west central Aleutian areas, but not quite reaching Atka yet. And some higher pressure will begin to dry it out and clear it out with light winds for the eastern Aleutians, most likely tomorrow. Still some scattered shower activity along the eastern Bering Sea, southeast Bering Sea up to the southwest coast. Periods of rain for the North Gulf Coast, back down across Kodiak Island into Bristol Bay and the southern Kuskokwim Valley areas, as well as southern Cook Inlet and the southern Kenai Peninsula. So maybe a chance of rain reaching the possibly Kenai, but more likely down toward Homer and Seldovia. Dry in the central interior, not too bad even up to the north. Still some light snow going on for the western Arctic coast. High pressure, dry conditions, light winds, maybe some clearing here for the southeast coast. So you may be able to see the aurora overnight tonight when it gets dark enough there. And then for tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny for the Panhandle, and kind of a typical mid-May day coming up here Saturday from the remainder of the state with cloudy, wet conditions along the North Gulf Coast, Kenai Peninsula, Kodiak Island, partly sunny skies in the interior, chance of rain or snow showers up toward the Brooks Range, and still a chance of flurries or light snow showers for the Arctic coast back down into the Bering Strait. And this system, again, moving eastward here, will spread some rain into the central Aleutians, and a break here for possible sunshine over the eastern Aleutians, back up to the Pribilofs once again, and pretty nice up over the Bering Sea with light winds and dry weather. And then for Sunday, this low tracks eastward here, with most of the moisture staying south of the Alaska Peninsula, although from about roughly Chignik westward, look for some light rain clouds extending into the eastern Aleutians. Pretty gusty winds here south or to the west of this low center on Sunday as high pressure builds back to the west there. And so we could see gusts 35, maybe 40 miles an hour with rain showers here for Adak and Atka, and rain for the eastern Aleutians. For the central and southeast interior, look for cloudy skies with areas of rain or showers from the Yukon Flats southward to the North Gulf Coast into the Kuskokwim Valley. Mostly cloudy, scattered showers, south central Alaska. Risk of a shower for Kodiak Island, followed by clearing here, especially down toward Akiak into Bristol Bay. Some partly sunny skies there. And this trough brings rain and showers into the southeast coast. And for the lows tonight, in the 20s, teens and 20s for the North Slope and Arctic coast, 20s to lower 30s in the Brooks Range, mostly in the upper 20s and lower 30s in the interior, mid to upper 30s south central Alaska and the southeast coast, as well as the Aleutians out here in the 30s. Highs tomorrow in the 50s, and that's about it. Could be a 60, 61 over toward Chicken, down toward maybe Tok. Otherwise in the 50s, lower to mid 50s south central Alaska, Copper River Basin. And in the 50s also for the Panhandle, 40s out here to the Aleutians, lower 30s for the Pribilofs, and in the 20s for the Arctic coast. And the lows in the 20s, Arctic coast into the Brooks Range, 30s, or upper 20s and 30s here for much of interior Alaska, mid to upper 30s for Bristol Bay, Aleutians, and in the 40s for the Panhandle, followed by highs on Sunday afternoon. Cool, lower to mid 50s for the southeast coast, and mid to upper 50s for the interior, and a little warmer now for the North Slope, rising into the 30s there, upper 20s out toward the Arctic coast. Still struggling to reach freezing for the Pribilof Islands, about 31 there for St. Paul, and near 30 there for St. Lawrence Island.